This week on Way of the Master.
Penn is he's a very outspoken atheist.
Yeah.
I've seen him rip Bibles to shreds. I've heard him blaspheme God to no end. And one of the things that he's well known for is mocking Christians, mocking Christianity and mocking the Word of God. And so that's one of the most common things that we hear atheists talk about, is how ridiculous the Bible is, right? So I want you guys to answer this question for us. How in the world can Christians believe stories in the Bible like Jonah being swallowed by a big fish? How can we believe stories in the Bible like a bush catching on fire but not being consumed and God talking out of it, God speaking through a donkey? How can we believe stories like that? I mean, those are just the tip of the iceberg. A talking serpent, So how can Christians believe this stuff?
I just address that for a minute. I know how to not believe it, and that is deny the supernatural.
Right.
Just say there's no God and then nothing makes sense. If you say there is a God, he can do anything. He can turn the world upside down and juggle with it, with one hand if he wants.
Yeah.
So there's nothing too hard for God. So he can walk on water, multiply lunches, talk through donkeys, do what he wants because he created all things. But when you stay in the natural realm and say I'm an atheist who don't believe in God, then everything is utter foolishness.
Yeah.
It's just a fairy tale.
I mean, Mark, that's really the heart of it, right? I mean, with the worldview, naturalism or materialism, that's the whole crux of it, is you're ruling out the supernatural. And when you do that, of course, you can start to ridicule anything that's supernatural.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, that was basically David Hume's objection. He said, miracles are impossible, therefore they're impossible. Right? But he's begging the question. Certainly, you have to concede to the fact that if God is real, then miracles are no problem. I'm going to remove the word if, and I'm going to put in the word since. Since God is real, miracles are no problem.
Right.
Now, if you take a step back, of course their argumentation seems sound. Why? Because we don't see snakes who do not have vocal cords speaking. But we have to take it a step further and realize, but God.
Right.
God can do anything within his nature, and getting a snake to speak really is not a big deal at all.
That's so true. And it's funny because it seems like in some circles, the Christian world has kind of bowed down to atheism because there are what they would call themselves progressive, but I would call them liberal theologians who would try to explain away the supernatural.
Right.
They claim to believe God exists. They claim to believe in creation, but then they got to take out the supernatural. No, well, it was through evolution. Well, no, that really didn't happen. Maybe this is what happened. The Red Sea really didn't part, but it was this kind of...
Right.
It's like,
Stop.
Right. Like, come on, are you kidding me? You believe in the existence of God. What's there to argue beyond that? Of course he can do whatever he wants,
I saw a little joke many years ago where a new convert was going, wow, God's opened up the Red Sea and Moses and the the Israelites are going through, and a theologian came and he says, no. Around that time of the year, this tide would go out and it's only 2 inches of water, and then the new convert goes, whoa, the whole Egyptian army's been drowned by God in 2 inches of water. TV and streaming listings available at wayofthemaster.com.